So the big question is this: how these entrepreneurs who started from scratch and had no idea how to sell or market their products or services online and then later on made over 6 figures, 7 figures or even 8 figures became best in their niches and found their dream customers to sell. My name is RJ Ahmed and find this all out in our Interviews with Entrepreneurs show. I interviewed these entrepreneurs and tried to pick their brain of how they actually did that and how they took their business as well as their life to the next level. This podcast is all about the entrepreneurs who strive so hard to become super awesome in their niches. Welcome to Interviews with Entrepreneurs. Welcome to Interviews with Entrepreneurs show. We will interview entrepreneurs who are super awesome in their niches. And guys, we're back again with an amazing guest on our show. And this guest that we have is kind of like super special for me. I remember when I started out in the internet marketing space, trying to make money online, and also, as you know, building the list is the key because that is the only thing as a traffic that you own. So I was trying to build my list in the initial start. I was trying to find ways to make money online, and during that particular point, I met Wayne. And I saw he had his own systems out there where he's helping other people out there to make money online with his given systems. And you drive traffic to it, and then you make money through that as well. So he's the founder of the Traffic Dominators. He have a community called Traffic Domination. He has a community around Traffic Dominators. So please welcome Wayne Crowe. Hey Wayne,
Awesome.
thank you so much for
Awesome.
being on the show today.
No worries, mate. What an awesome introduction and what an awesome intro into your show. It's fantastic. Loved it.
Thank you so much, man. Like I truly appreciate it, and thank you so much for being on the show today.
No worries. We've been trying to arrange this, mate, for a long time. A long,
Yeah,
long time.
yeah. Finally, we made it happen.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been about a year, I think, in total.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah, around a year or so. But yeah, man, again, thank you so much for being on the show. If people are living under the rock in the space, for me, it's been like probably around 3 years out there since I saw you. I got interactive with you, and later on, went ahead with it. So if people are under the rock, could you like walk us through your backstory, how you started in the space? I know it's been a long time for you, but yeah, like could you walk us through a bit of it?
Yeah, it's been a long, long time, mate. So my story, I forgot it, I think, but getting old. I think feel like I'm getting old. So I
Yeah.
actually started online about 15ish years ago, approximately.
Wow.
I'll go into a bit of depth because it's quite weird because I don't think about it that often. But I sat there like most people, in my daughter's bedroom. I still live in the same house, trying to make money online, trying to make this online thing work. And I remember I stumbled across a program called SE Nuke.
Mhm.
It's still, I think it's still for sale now. I see it on JV Zoo leaderboards. It's not going to be the same thing, but basically, back in those days, you could press a button and own the search engines. And that's when I realised you could make money and lots of it. It took me a while to get there. Like most people, you're never successful in a month or a year. It probably took me a fair
Yeah.
few years to get successful. And I become really good at SEO. I say I did, SE Nuke did. And then that kind of went on over time, and I got into e-commerce. I owned a big e-commerce company. Uh, yeah, pretty big e-commerce company. And then I owned a gym and a marketing business.
Yeah.
I owned all these different businesses, all these staff, until about 7 years ago, I'd say. And then I thought, why the hell am I doing this? I'm working 90-hour weeks, not getting to see my kids. We all go into that internet lifestyle or into internet marketing for that lifestyle, don't we? We want to do what we want to do when we
Yeah.
want to do it. And
True.
I realized all I was doing was managing people. I was no
Mm.
longer an internet marketer. I was managing people. So about 7 years ago, I got rid of all my businesses and started again. Luckily for e-commerce, I drove all our traffic. I done all our traffic, and I realised that every Friday when we sent a newsletter out, our sales would go through the roof. Like our newsletter, our email was the thing that kept us alive. And I thought, right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
going to do. I'm going to focus on email. And then fast forward to now, that's what I've been doing the past 7 years. I started off in traffic, and I kind of looked at people, with these big audiences. I thought, how the hell do I do that? How do I get these big audiences? Um, and that's kind of led me to where we are now, where big things are happening for me. And exciting things, very, very exciting things are happening for me, and like people involved in my community, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, like what a journey it's been, absolutely out there. And as you mentioned, like email is one of the most crucial thing in your business out there. You don't own any sort of traffic source apart from your own email list. You know that's the only asset you have
Yep.
as an asset in the business, 100%. So like I remember when I joined, it was probably in early 2019 when I got into ClickFunnels world. I got to know about you as well. During that time, there was an email list building training.
Yeah,
If you remember
I do. Yeah.
about that, yeah. So that was kind of an opportunity for most of the people out there to make money, to have an opportunity to make money online, particularly somehow, some way. So, as a beginner, why do you think so? If they're given everything, they still not be able to make money online. Like, what do you think? Why they are unable to do so still, if they're given everything to make money out of it?
Um, the biggest thing that we're all sold on this dream, and we're all sold on the dream of how easy this game is. Okay,
Yeah,
and I think the key word there is that they've said they're given everything. Okay, I've literally given everything for 15 years
yeah,
now. So like the biggest thing for me to say is probably it's not how long it takes to be successful. Okay. When I started out, I was like, right, I am going to be successful. I remember working in a factory and we had these clipboards, these big clipboards
mm,
for writing notes down about the work. And all I would do is write stuff, write ideas down, write working stuff out. People probably thought I was a nutter. I don't know. Probably thought I was nuts when they saw it. But I thought I didn't care. I know I'm going to be successful. No idea what to do, how to start. But I knew I was going to be successful. And the secret, I think, is it doesn't matter how long it takes. If it took me 10 years, I simply didn't care because I knew in 10 years
yeah,
will pass anyway. 10 years will pass whether you do it or not. But in 10 years, your life can be you can be a completely different person like I am. I'm completely different to when I started this journey, which is one of the things I love about what we do. Um, so I would say give everything again until it
mm,
works. Like literally, and by giving everything, I don't mean keep spending money. Okay,
yeah,
people fall into this habit. I think spend the money is giving everything. It's not. And really, a big tip is when you see someone sell something or you see someone doing something, um, the lesson isn't always what they're directly teaching you. It's what they're indirectly teaching you, if that makes sense.
okay.
Really look beyond. They're selling you a course, they're selling you a product, but that's how they make money. So they're actually teaching you how to sell in that moment when they're selling you that product.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like as you mentioned out there, it always doesn't matter like how directly they're selling, how indirect you're getting that response. Don't be like you're getting sold. Have a look how they're selling you as well. Have a look on their
Exactly.
sales process. Yeah, I remember that yesterday someone was pitching me a 10 grand offer. I'm like, I'm not gonna say yes to you, but I'm just having a look how you're expecting me to, and let me say yes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a look too.
Everything's a lesson. I done that before. I done that before with an internet marketer. I thought I listened to how you sell, and I bought.
Yeah.
And I bought because sometimes you have to respect the skill, and what he was selling was really really good.
100%, like truly. So during that time, I know, like as I mentioned, because like 3 years also quite a time being in a space and like stay consistent with it and like have the mindset of going forward. I remember when I joined the group, there weren't, I think it was under 5 to 10, yeah, it was 5 to 10,000 members, like you probably like under 5,000, what I remember maybe. But then later on, you created your whole system. Now you have more than 100,000 members in your Facebook group, and it's
Yep,
not stopping at all, like
it
growing
won't stop.
massively. What was the thing initially that you've done different that in probably 1.5 years or something like that, it just like went massive, like crazy growth of it?
Yeah, the thing we've done differently. So, a lot of the time, people think they need to come out with a finished product. Okay,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people wait until their product's complete and then they launch it. Okay, I
Hmm.
don't. I build things as I fly it. So it's really about looking at the feedback that everything gives you. There's feedback. I call them feedback loops. I don't know who told me that, Sam, but I think it's brilliant. And optimizing and changing things from there. Now, the big thing that we've got that I don't think anyone else online has got, I don't think anyone does this as well as us, is it's not really about me. It's not really about the system, but it's about the actual community we've built, which really
Yeah,
is powerful, and the results of the community. I mean, every day,
true.
like it's insane. We actually, in the past 2 3 weeks, they've earned more than they did the entire year. So it's absolutely exploding. It's set to explode. But again, it's about
Wow.
um, it was you know, when you go through this journey, I do talk a lot about this stuff, so I absolutely love it. But when you go through this journey online, and you immerse yourself in it, quite often, guys who are listening, there's one little thing people say. Oh, for me, there was all these little sentences almost, and I can remember the sentences that really changed the way I think. And one of them was Gary Vaynerchuk, and he said the best marketing strategy is to care. Right, and I can
Mm,
remember exactly the video and everything. And I thought, wow, that just kind of struck a chord with me. And I thought, right, so I kind of teach that to the community members, and it kind of spread
yeah.
throughout the entire community. And that really is what explodes it. It's not just about me. It's about the group as a whole and everyone moving forward together as a group. And yeah, it's on 120, 110,000. Not sure the number now. It's
Even more
massive.
than that.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
Yeah, like 100% love it. Yeah, as you mentioned out there, like caring about your people is also important, and being like, it's not only for myself, but also the people out there who are leaning on you. Caring about themselves is also important. Like 100%. Like as you mentioned on that, and we're gonna talk about a lot around email stuff as well, because this is something that is also the foundation around everything. So like in general, like what you see is the number one mistake people make for the reason why they're not getting more emails. Still at this point, people are making a lot of money, but they're neglecting email stuff. They're like, when the time comes, when we get the slab, then we're going to look for an email.
Yeah.
That is actually their current situation. Like why people neglect email part right now. Do you think it's oversaturated for the reason why they're neglecting collecting emails at all? Because some people who are making even six figures, not even gathering a single email. It's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, I don't get why anyone would ever do that. You put it perfectly at the start. You become, when you've got an email list, you become Google. There was a
Yeah.
month, November last year, so 13 months ago, I spent $30,000 delivering emails. I don't know if you've seen this,
Wow.
but I spent $30,000 just delivering emails. And out of
Hmm.
that, I couldn't tell you how much I earned, but I earned profit. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, the best way to think of it is, if the way I kind of describe it, if you're selling a product, okay, a lot of people will just send to a JV Zoo product, for example,
Yeah.
or their own product. They've got that one sale, fantastic. But what if you can capture that person and sell to them over and over and over and over again? Um, it really it works. I don't know why anyone would ever not capture emails. Now there is a caveat with that, in that there's different types of lists you can build. There's different ways to build a list. Like solo ads are not equal to a buyer's list that know, like, and trust you, that you've got a brilliant
Yeah.
relationship to, and people always get that kind of mixed up. So one of the biggest mistakes people make, I know that weren't a question, but I'm going to go into it anyway.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
is I remember when I started traffic, I started being a solo ad vendor all those years ago,
Yeah.
and I was looking at people think, wow, they can deliver 1,000 clicks a day. How the hell can they do that? And I was like, I just can't get this working. And I sat there and I thought, right, I'm going all out. Right? I was on about 80 clicks a day for my email list. And I was thinking, right, I'm just going all out. Nothing else matters. I'm going to get to 1,000 clicks per day. As soon as my mindset changed, as soon as I really went for it, like I thought I was working hard, but my goals got much bigger. I done it within
Yeah.
44 days. That is a
Wow.
10 grand a month business profit, 10 grand a month profit business at 1,000 clicks a day. And I think the most I've delivered per day is well over 10,000, 10 or 20,000 clicks in a single day. So,
Hmm.
thinking, like, really think about your goals and really make them bigger.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, that's so true. People kind of like neglect those particular parts, and they have to understand like what type of list they are building. And as you mentioned around solo ads, we're gonna talk about that as well. Anyone start out, they have kind of a goal, like, hey, especially not now, but not now at this moment. Like most people just don't focus that much in a beginning phase. Be like, hey, I'm gonna start out run solo at this and this and this. But I remember during the time I was like in probably 2019 when I was in, and I believe like even before that, people were like, we're gonna get a landing page, have a solo ad vendor, run traffic, gonna make money. So that was the initial thought process they had.
Hmm.
But why for some people solo ads doesn't work? I know you have done like quite a, and it worked for some part, for some vendors obviously it did work for me, and for some it didn't 100%. But why for some people out there it just didn't work out, and why
There's
for some people it did?
there's hundreds of reasons. So
Yeah,
you've got. I'll kind of skim the surface of. You've got to imagine you join an opportunity. Let's say it's make money online biz op. All right.
yeah.
People join these biz ops and they're told, right, we've got these landers, we've got these squeeze pages, they work fantastically, just drive traffic to them. So 99% of the time, they have not been split tested. Okay. How do you know
Mm,
whether they work with Facebook ads, AdWords? How do you know how well they work with solo ads? They haven't been optimized around the traffic source. Okay. So that's
yeah.
often the first mistake is you're relying on someone else's data. Okay. You're relying on someone else to do the work. Never do that. Always rely on your own data. Um, the next thing is, right, you're in this program, so you've just automatically assumed that not just the squeeze page is optimized, but the whole funnel and the whole process is optimized. So you think to yourself, right, I've been sold into this program. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
If I get 100 clicks, at least 10 people are going to buy it because it's that good. Okay.
Mm,
These 10 people that you think are going to buy it, they're not sold into it like you are. Okay. These are sort of ads of cold traffic. Okay. Um, and you have to optimize the funnel around the traffic source. Okay. So if
mm,
you've got this funnel, it has to be optimized around each traffic. Facebook will react very differently to AdWords, which will act differently to solo ads, and even different ads will react differently to different funnels. Okay. So these
yeah.
people just have this one business, this one process, which they say fits all, and it doesn't. Okay. So that brings us on to the next mistake that people make is find people have this one offer. They're told to buy solo ads. That's not what you need to do. What you need to do is optimize the offers. So literally go to ClickBank, Warrior Plus, JVZoo, wherever you want, Cash Network, whatever you want, and rotate through the offers until you find one that hits. Okay,
Mm,
because all of them react very differently. You could test 30 different offers. The 31st one, all of a sudden, might bring in tons of sales and tons of money. Okay, and then
yeah.
you can scale up. I remember there was a Cash Network offer. It paid me $2.40 every single click. $2.40. It was my cash bot. It's not there anymore. This was about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was just literally driving, just exploding your list, making money, building your list, and then that
Mm,
traffic is yours, costs you nothing to send. Um,
yeah.
so hopefully I'm not going too fast, but the biggest thing, guys, anyone watching this is optimize and rely on your own data. Data is everything in this game, no matter what traffic source you do. Don't rely on someone else to do it for you.
100%.
Hopefully it
That's
helped.
that's super powerful. Yeah, 100%. It is powerful out there. Hope guys, it makes sense.
I hope it
So
does.
yeah. So like I know right now you have a system which is called OLSP.
Yep.
Could you like walk us through a bit of it, like what it is and what's this all about? And I know a lot of people out there are making a lot of money with it. Someone who haven't made anything, they are making money. I guess I saw it yesterday or day before yesterday. Someone made $2,000 sale. And they were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it," and
Yeah.
like which is crazy. So like, could you like walk us through a bit of it, like what it is?
Yeah. So basically, like as I went through this journey, I went from traffic provider. I like to be an underground. Okay? I like being a little bit of a story behind it. I like being underground, sitting here with my computer, working out paid traffic, making commissions, sending it to customers. That was what I was doing. Then I looked at all these people and I'm like, how can they just do a Facebook Live and make loads of money? How can they do these webinars and make loads of money? And at Twigs, they're building audiences. Okay? They're
Hmm.
building these big audiences. Um, so I started teaching myself. So I was like, right, I've got to develop. I haven't got these skills. I've got to develop as a person who can be successful in that. So I had to learn to sell. I had to learn to do webinars. I had to learn to do lives. I had to learn how to do all the things we're all uncomfortable with, like all the things we
Yeah.
all hate. And that's actually what I love about this game. You have to develop yourself to be successful, and that's one thing I really love about business and internet marketing. So I went through this period. It's probably 3 years of non-stop work. Again, I was already successful, but I wanted to push myself. Yeah, about 3 years of developing these skills, mixing with the right people, paying for tuition, all this kind of different stuff, and I got it working. Okay, so I really
Yeah.
got this system working. Um, and then you realize like how many hours I put into this, and then you realize why many people fail at this kind of game because there's so much work. People hate selling. Okay, for example, I absolutely love selling to people. Okay, back
Yeah.
10 years ago, I hated selling, but now, if I've got something, the way to think, if you've got something that can change people's lives, it's no longer selling. You want to get that in their hands. You want to, kick their door down and just go and run and give it to them because you
Yeah.
believe in it that
So,
much. Um, so once I built this system, I wanted to show other people. So basically, I've had a number of very successful students, but these are people that kind of, they got that thing about them. They're business minded. They work incredibly hard. But for someone to learn these skills, I've been in business 15 years. I've failed a hell of a lot in that time. I lost a lot of money, a lot of successes, and been on the old roller coaster we've all been on. But I thought, what if I could shortcut that and they can benefit from all my skills? They can benefit from my team. They can benefit all the traffic I produce. And that is how OLSP was basically born. It's basically like they're piggybacking on my success.
yeah.
Um, and that's the kind of, it's not really a done for you system. I don't like that word because it's never sold as press a button, you'll make money. It's a case of piggyback on everything I do, and then get some success, get some profit, see it works, and then learn the skills. Okay, because you'll learn them much quicker,
Mm.
and that's really what we're all about. We're not just about that first part of the journey. We want to be with people through that entire journey that I went on, and that's really what OLSP is all about.
Wow, that's an awesome thing out there. Yeah, guys, like I'm definitely gonna put up the link in the comment section down below, so that you guys can also have a look and have an idea out there, especially for the people out there who are kind of struggling to make money online. And as Wayne mentioned, a lot of people out there don't like sales when they start out. But sales is important. It is something out there that you
It's
have to do.
everything.
And yeah, and when you understand like selling is serving, things start to change for you.
Hmm.
So that's pretty powerful. So like one of the last questions I'm gonna ask away like is you've been in the space for more than a decade, which is crazy, like commendable.
Long time.
Yeah, a long time, 100%. How and we know we are on the next decade now. So like how you think so people can survive? What's your one advice that you would give to people out there to survive for the next decade? Things are changing. We're going into metaverse as well. So like things are shifting how it was in the past. We
Yeah.
got a lot of slaps in the past, Google slap, Facebook slap, and all of the other platforms out there. But like how you think so people should survive, or what's your advice? Obviously you're going to be in that roller coaster ride as well, but what you're going to be initial advice to be and staying in the market for the next decade? What do you think about it?
That's a fantastic question, mate. I think the biggest thing is okay. The biggest thing is to absolutely love what you do. Right? If you don't love this game, or this is for me speaking personally, I absolutely love it. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. Okay, I simply wouldn't do
Yeah.
it. And because I've got that love for it and that joy of working things out. I never saw myself as a problem solver, but I'm very good at I think Americans call it pivoting. I hate that word, but I'm very good at working things out and seeing where things should go. You hear all the time online this noise, don't you? Clubhouse was it, and this and
Yeah.
that and that. I ignore all of it. Okay, I literally wait for things to smack me in the face before I take any notice. New things I don't tend to um, do that often, believe it or not. Because what I've got is working, and I've got this one system. Okay, too many people will go off and do 10 different things. I've got this one system, and I have to take this system into the next decade, if that makes sense. It's not
Mm.
me finding a new traffic source, or it's not me looking for the next best thing. It is me staying on the same path, but just being able to maneuver around anything. And for anyone watching this, worried about the next decade. I'm not at all. Is immerse yourself in this game. There's lessons everywhere. Okay, completely surround yourself in it until you are successful. If you've got that stone cold belief in yourself, that was the only confidence that I had was I will be successful. I know I'll be here in 10 years, unless, I die or something.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I'll be here in 10 years. I don't need a lot of money to live. I purposely keep living costs down. I love what I do. So basically, I'm kind of living the dream. And things are developing all the time. Another thing is, if you are worried about the future, if you are successful, and a lot of people do this, I have properties, I have cryptocurrencies. I'm always
yeah,
spreading the risk to be sure that, the worst thing you can have, and we see this in entrepreneurs, especially online quite a bit, they rise to success, they don't understand money, they lose it, and they're back to square one. Okay. So when you do get a
yeah.
bit of success, really don't go out there and spend the money. Really think of your future and how you can invest in your future.
Yeah, 100%. They just don't understand money. They don't know how to diversify the money out there into different sort of assets. Like,
Yeah.
love it, 100%. Well, Wayne, thank you so much. I know we can talk about a lot of things out there. There can be a lot of things out there we can talk about, but where people can find you and be the part of their world if they're crazy enough and they're not the part of
They don't need to be crazy. Well, they do a little
it.
bit. If they go to Facebook and search Traffic Dominators, they'll find our group. 110,000 or whatever people inside that group. Very active group. We actually have about
Yeah,
40, 50,000 active members according to our own stats.
wow.
And you won't get lost in there, guys. There's tons of help. Join there or simply go to olspsystem.com. Create a free account. You get loads of free training. We actually give you $20 for finishing the training inside our commission area. And it's an hour and a half of fantastic training. So jump in there as well.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna put up all of the resources, everything in the comment section down below, also in the show notes, so you guys can be a part of the community, part of the training as well. Well, Wayne, thank you so much for being on the show. Any last thing that you want to say before we round the show up?
Now, if you are unsure, guys, if this stuff works or if what the future holds, just get out there and do it because it changes you as a person. It's a fantastic feeling, knowing where you've come from. Type things. We've all got our own stories. Just get out there and do it, no matter what
Yeah,
it takes.
just do it and stay consistent with it.
Yeah.
100%. Again, Wayne, thank you so much for being on the show. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're definitely going to see you guys in the next episode next week. Until then, peace out.